Hello everybody, welcome to Snyder's Inc. And today we have got a Tragedy Tales video. I've not reacted to this channel before, so I don't know what to expect. Well, it's gonna probably be over an hour long, and this is No Escape, 5 horrifying live streams. And we won't get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button, hit subscribe button, comment thing down below, let's go. Warning, the entries in this video are real. Footage feature may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Live streams. They've changed the way we share moments, witness events, and connect with each other across the globe. Streams bring us closer to the action, offer real-time interaction. They capture events that are unfiltered, unexpected, and sometimes utterly chilling. I'm Ryan from Tragedy Tales, and this week I've dug into the digital abyss. I've scoured the internet to bring you 5 horrifying live streams that shocked viewers. From the man who captured pure terror, to a phony Christmas livestream that was far from what it seemed. Grab a hot drink and
Oh, the Christmas live stream. I'm sick of hearing about this damn live stream. The Christmas one. I might skip that. There might be a chance I do, because I am fucking sick of hearing about that damn live stream.
Draw the curtains. Let's get right into it.
Oh, I forgot to mention, if you'd like to help me out with a donation, you can leave a super thanks or link to my PayPal's in the description. I don't think this video will get monetized. If it will, it'll be very limited. So anything could help me and help this channel out.
Now, I'm sure you're all aware that construction sites are just dangerous in nature. You're clad out in a myriad of PPE, you have to train, and you have to sign a million forms before you can even step onto one. However, in this case, no amount of training or PPE could protect you from this. This live stream unfolded on the 18th of May, 2023, in North Carolina, in Charlotte. It was a Thursday, and a day like any other, as the busy city of Charlotte churned into action. That morning, workers from multiple contractors arrived at a building site just off Liberty Road Drive. This was a 7-story building site intended to be a luxury apartment building situated near the popular South Park Mall. And on this day, around...
Hold on, there's a place called the South Park Mall. That is amazing. I guarantee you it's not at all what I think it should be. But that's amazing.
120 workers grafted away. Some were installing windows, some were fitting insulation, with one worker situated in a crane 210 feet above the ground. As the sun rose over the building site, the day began. The workers began their usual jobs, hauling things up the stairs, loading and fitting windows. Now this is when the horror begins. At approximately 9 AM, on the bottom floor of the partially built multi-story building, the workers began hauling spray foam insulation from the van that it had arrived in into the bottom floor. Within the spray foam trailer, there was a generator and a load of canisters that combined to create this spray foam insulation. Inside this trailer, a spark started aflame, and the flame spread rapidly. It spread all across the spray foam insulation, quickly reaching the apartment and the workers that were busy grafting. There was no alarm yet installed for emergencies, so a couple of workers ran sporadically across the floors, shouting "Fire, fire," in an attempt to get everyone out. But because the building in question was only partially built, with lots of wood exposed, the flames just spread faster than anyone could have imagined, lurching up the wooden beams, and within minutes, the entire site was filled with smoke and fire.
Yeah, hey guys, definitely a very active scene out here. You can see those flames. It's really, really hot out here because you can feel those flames behind me. I'm gonna step out of the frame, we can show you. You can see the fire is really, really burning. I mean, driving in from this location, you can see it from miles and miles away. But again, these flames are very aggressive and they are burning quite hot and quite fast. And obviously with a new build, with apartments, and obviously you have to think about those raw materials like wood and lumber. Definitely some insulation that they can be used in the walls. So
Over 90 firefighters responded to the scene to do what they do best. But this was enormous, reaching an alarm 5, the highest alarm sounded for a fire. As the firemen battled the blazes, smoke enveloped the area. More than 100 other workers managed to escape, while the firefighters successfully saved 15 workers who were trapped, including one man who was stuck in his crane above the smouldering building site for over an hour.
Jesus.
Sadly, 2 men remained unaccounted for, 30-year-old DeMonte Sherrill and 48-year-old Reuben Holmes, a 2-man contractor team who were installing windows on the 6th floor.
We've been getting different vantage points in all afternoon. Excuse me, as of right now, 2 construction workers are unaccounted for after all of this.
Because the building was being built, an interior temporary stairway was removed in preparation for the permanent stairs. Removing this left only one available stairway from the 7th floor to the ground. Unfortunately, this one stairwell was now impossible to navigate because it was full of smoke, and this left the 2 workers trapped on the 6th floor with no escape. With the 2 men trapped and awaiting rescue,
I would think you would not put them... Maybe they were going to do this that day, but I would think you wouldn't remove the stairs until the day you were going, at least the day before you were going to actually put the stairs, because you don't know what can happen. Maybe that's my dumb thought process and they didn't think. But I would think you wouldn't remove any other like temporary stairs until the day you were going to actually put the actual stairs.
nothing else to do but
Or at least day before.
pray and wait. Father of 4, DeMonte, reached into his back pocket and went live on Facebook. Now, DeMonte had only been working at this job, fitting windows, for just 3 days. What was a normal day for him and his colleague Reuben had swiftly been turned into the stuff of nightmares.
I'm at South Park right now, at work, the building on fire, and I can't get out. It's getting harder and harder for them to see us. We're gonna have to stand out here, man, so see. The building on fire, I'm trapped inside, me and my man.
As DeMonte went live from within the burning building, he said to his viewers that he was trapped on the 6th floor, trapped at work, and that it was getting harder and harder to see. He screamed out, "Help," desperately, while DeMonte's family and friends watched, including his own mother.
The building on fire, I'm trapped inside, me and my man. Ah! Help! Ah!
DeMonte's father, Terry Campbell, rushed to the scene as soon as he heard, but by the time he got down there, the entire street was chock-a-block full of black smoke and rising flames. With the smoke billowing out from the shell of the building, the flames reached temperatures of upwards of 2,000 degrees. This was actually one of the largest fires in Charlotte's history. As firefighters worked their way through the blazing building, they reached the 6th floor, and here they heard the agonizing pleas for help from the 2 men who were trapped. But unfortunately, at this point, due to the sheer amount of smoke that was in the building, the firefighters were forced to call Mayday and abort rescue, leaving the 2 men for dead.
What?
It collapsed. Yep, I got it on film.
It took firefighters until noon to subdue the flames, but sadly, the 2 men that were trapped on the 6th floor remained missing. The next day, as firefighters sifted through the ash, their burnt bodies were discovered and retrieved. Now, in hindsight, the stream of DeMonte and Ruben being trapped on the 6th floor is eerily haunting. Their family and friends were all watching, not realizing that they were witnessing the pair's tragic final moments. Just imagine that you're in that same situation, trapped at work, 6 stories up, on an unfinished balcony, with the flames quickly rising towards you, being choked out by the inescapable smoke. It's truly horrific. And the fact that they were screaming for help.
I would know the reason why people jump. I know the reason why people jump in that scenario. If you don't think you have a way out, you jump. Because in your mind, if you jump, you most likely will die. But in that scenario, you think you got a chance. You're like, look, I could be the lucky guy that just survives this shit. And I didn't die in a burning building. But obviously they trusted the firefighters. The firefighters said, nope, fuck that.
Help, and nobody could reach them. Yeah, it's awfully tragic. This incident raised serious questions as to the safety on building sites. 3 companies were cited, being accused of not meeting several fire safety codes that led to the workers' tragic deaths, including not having a fire alarm system, an escape plan of any sort, or having an escape route for the employees. Investigators determined that multiple heat sources were inside the spray foam trailer, and this is what started the fire. And they also said that nobody was monitoring these operations whatsoever. They said that if someone had been there at the time with a fire extinguisher of any size, this entire situation would have been avoided. In January of 2024, 2 out of the 3 companies that were involved were fined for breaching 8 fire codes that led up to the fire, with fines totaling almost $50,000 US.
Jesus.
Imagine that you're at a house party with your friends, you got beer, you got pizza, you got music. It's a great time. Then you decide to have, I don't know, a game of hide and seek. This is the very last thing you expect to happen. This frightening stream occurred on Saturday the 4th of April 2020 in Maryland, more specifically Baltimore. Home to 585,000 people with a long history as an important seaport, Baltimore is known for its delicious seafood. However, it's also known for its darker side. The city is officially the 3rd most dangerous place to live in the entire United States, boasting a crime rate of 48 per 1,000 residents, making it one of the highest crime rates across all America. Your chances of becoming a victim of either a violent or property crime here is 1 in 21. However, just like any city, while there are drug and gang-related crime, these kind of crimes only occur in specific parts of the city and don't actually have an effect on tourists or non-gang members. But this stream began on Saturday the 4th of April 2020. Because it was the middle of the pandemic, as darkness settled on Baltimore, many returned to their homes for a quiet night in. However, these restrictions would not stop 24-year-old Ernest Wilson III. That night, Ernest planned one of his famous game nights and invited 15 or so of his friends. Ernest was described as a very nice and sweet young man. He was a great big brother and a person who could make you laugh with anything that came out of his mouth. Before the weekend, Ernest had gone out of his way and rented an Airbnb on the 1100 block of St. Charles Street. He rented this B&B out for what he called a game night. I can only guess what was involved here, but these nights were something that Ernest was known to do quite often and was actually famous for hosting them. On the night of April the 4th, Ernest went live on Facebook a total of 4 times. The first of the night was captioned "Pull Up On Me", and it shows Ernest on his own in the B&B, rolling backwards and flashing illicit substances. He asks more people to join him and tells them to pull up on him. One randomer asked if he could have a location, to which he responded, "Inbox me. I won't put the address public."
You still having game night? Why you asking me dumb shit? I'm live in a house by myself and my caption says pull up on me. Pull up on me.
In his first stream, however, one live viewer wrote in the chat asking for an invite, to which Ernest replies,
You're not invited. You're not pulling up on me. The person who just joined. If you're still watching, you're not invited. Because you don't fucking listen. I'm gonna bang you in your mouth next time. Wasn't my event, so I didn't. This one is, and I will. So to avoid that, you're not invited. And I dare you come on here like, boy, fuck you. I dare you. Because I'm gonna let you have it. So to avoid that, don't.
in the next 2 live streams, the streams just show the party getting going. It looks like there's 20 odd people having fun, drinking, playing games and dancing. But in the 4th and final live stream of the night, at 2:32 AM, Ernest went live again with the caption of "Better play hide and seek." All on stream, his friends hid around the B&B, whilst Ernest goes out front to count to 30.
I gotta count out here. How you gonna hide right here? They so dumb. Little dumbass. You thought I gotta count out here, stupid. Go the other way. I'm coming to look for you first, though. You know I can ham up there and shit. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I can hear y'all. 14.
I'm just skipping. I don't need to hear him counting.
23. 24. 20. Lock the door so don't hit the open door on me. Ain't nobody in this bathroom. I didn't think nobody. What the fuck? Oh, alright. I'm going. I'm leaving everything open. Ain't nowhere to hide for you.
In the darkness, he creeps around looking for anyone hiding, checking utility cupboards and various rooms, before deciding to check the back door.
Next time they on y'all ass. Down here.
I feel I know the answer to this. Because there's no way he could do this. But did he enter the wrong house or something?
The front door locked, dumbass. I'm on your ass. 1, 2, 3.
The 24-year-old walks outside and instantly finds 3 of his mates hiding. He counts them out, and then, all on stream, a man can be seen scaling the fence to the property. And then, this happens.
I'm on your ass. 1, 2, 3. Who the fuck is that, G? I don't know. Get your dumb ass on the other side of this gate. Who the fuck? Dumb ass. This can't be one of my friends. Fuck on the ground. Hey, Pride! Pull that shit up!
Ernest is suddenly and violently attacked by the unknown person. He can be heard screaming as someone orders him to get to the ground. After a brief commotion, the video frame cuts to black and the recording ends. Back inside, the sound of gunshots echoed through the party. His friends rushed outside to find that Ernest had been shot and left for dead. The perpetrator now nowhere to be seen. When the authorities arrived, unfortunately, Ernest had died from his injuries.
You gonna tell me the one dude who he told don't show up decided to fucking take his life? Because that's the assumption you have given me by just the details you've given me.
And it just goes to show what I mean about live streams, that they can capture moments that no one would have ever imagined capturing. Nearly 4 years on from this tragic ordeal, despite being caught in the act of a video, the police have been unable to find the person responsible, meaning this murderer continues to walk free. But next time you think about going live and perhaps hosting a party with random people, perhaps think twice. Perhaps think about who is watching and waiting.
So no one knows a damn thing about where I live. When people know where I live, people I talk to. If I don't talk to you personally, you don't probably know a damn thing about me. Okay, not about me, where I live. Because I feel like... Actually, there's one thing. You don't know my address, that's the main thing.
This entry brings us straight to Kuzhou, China, on that fateful day of June the 20th, 2023. On that warm, beautiful summer day, 23-year-old Zhao, who went by the name of Zhao Zhumi on the Chinese version of TikTok known as Douyin, finished her shift at a construction site and decided that she'd go live to her viewers to entertain them for a while. In China, live streams have sort of taken over. A report by authorities last year found that as of September of 2023, Douyin had a staggering 743 million users, and that 89.8% of these users partake in live stream content.
Yes, I'm drinking a 2-liter Pepsi, by the way, for those watching.
Now, Zhao was a mother to 2 kids, and she was a professional crane operator who had 100,000 followers on Douyin. Thousands of regular viewers would tune in almost every day to watch her sit in her cabin, far above the ground. On the stream, she'd talk to herself, she'd show the views of the cabin and what she got up to that day at work, she'd give life updates, and sometimes she'd dance for her viewers while sitting in the cabin of her crane. That day, Zhao was working at a crane operating site near Kuzhou in the Shanxi province of Western China. At approximately 5:40 PM, her shift finished and Zhao went live on Douyin. As the stream started, she spoke to the viewers and then she began to do her cute little dances in front of her phone that was set up in the crane cabin. Zhao dances for a bit before she decides to get down and end the live stream. Unfortunately, in a part of the video that has been cut out, I couldn't find it anywhere, Zhao slips on the stairs as she was trying to descend, and the video then switches to blurry images of equipment whizzing past the lens, all captured on livestream. Zhao tumbled 160 feet from the cabin. She fell and she fell, tumbling through the metal struts, coming to an abrupt stop seconds later. Zhao died on impact.
Oh, of course.
While most of her co-workers had reportedly left for the day, bystanders and eyewitnesses reported that Zhao still had her phone in her hand as she tumbled down the crane. Her fans and followers watched in shock as this entire ordeal unfolded live. The stream then ends, and shortly after, her family announced her death. Zhao's
That is insane. That is fucking insane. Is the ending the freaking Christmas one? Oh, it is. Oh, it makes me so... Okay, I'll have to let that play.
funeral and cremation took place the following week, with her ashes placed on a small table under an umbrella, as per local traditions. This haunting livestream unfolded on August the 18th, 2022. It begins in the Key Motel in Chatsworth, Ontario, Canada. That day, with the summer sun pounding from...
Why does he say it like that? Like, this is what he goes, Chatsworth, Ontario, Canada. Like, that can be said in a very way easier way.
above, 24-year-old Helen Nyabuto, known online as Helen Wendy, visited the Key Motel in Chatsworth with her friend. Helen first arrived in Canada from Kenya in 2018 and worked as a nurse in a local nursing home. She was described by her brother as full of life, with a warm smile and a charming heart. Now, the hotel that she'd visited that day with her mate was the Key Motel. This motel is an all-suite motel nestled on a quiet road in Chatsworth. The motel is a close drive to golf and other fun features, but they also have an array of amenities on site, such as a really cool barbecue, a picnic area, and a private pool. That day, Helen decided that the weather was beautiful and that she was going to take a dip into the shallow end of the pool. Helen donned a bikini and slipped in. And this is when she decided to grab her phone and start a Facebook live stream. The live stream begins showing Helen in a colourful swimming costume, smiling, having fun, and filming herself playing in the water. Now, while she was chatting to viewers, having a great time, it's important to note that Helen could not swim. She was in the shallow end for the majority of the stream, and there was no lifeguard or anyone watching over her.
Douglas Marito. Have a wonderful time. I am. Before summer issue.
Did she slip? Does she like slip and fall into the deep end? Because that's my assumption.
Kenyatta Mofa. Habari yako? Johanna Jr. Girl Toto. Uko aje? I'm having a good time. Ni saa 8. I think ni saa 8 na nusu.
Helen can be seen on stream having a little swim, but around 10 minutes into the stream, Helen wanders into the deeper part of the pool and off screen. This is when a truly horrible situation unfolded. All off screen, you can see splashing and Helen can be heard shouting for help. Tragically, 2 whole minutes of struggling ensued, with Helen shouting for help, but there was nobody nearby, no lifeguard. Viewers who were watching assumed the worst. After around 2 minutes of struggling, the livestream went quiet, and there it sat, all afternoon, live streaming a calm pool with blue clear skies above. It was only 3 hours later, when 2 gentlemen tried to access the pool, did they notice that something was floating inside it.
I know, that scared the shit out of me when I got it. I think it's a poodle or something.
What the hell is that?
Does that freak you out or what?
That looks so realistic.
I know. I got in and I was like, is it somebody? Walk over there. Just walk over there. Okay.
Like, what if it's actually somebody dead? Because I'm not even trolling, that looks way too real. Because I'm not getting in that pool, that looks like an actual dead person. But the thing is, if it was an actual dead person, it'd be floating to the top, right?
Maybe that.
Like if they're actually dead, it'd be at the top.
Like I think you gotta walk down there, walk around to the other side. Like go around behind. Like, go.
It looks like a real person.
Okay, go just tap on the door at the office. And just say, we're about to get in the pool. It looks like there is a dead person in there. Is that real?
Helen was rushed to hospital, but sadly, she'd been dead for hours.
Oh yeah, I'm about to say, she'd been dead for things. She'd been gone, she'd been underwater now for like 3 hours later.
Now, this entire stream is just all a bit odd to me. She's having fun, splashing in the water, swimming on her back. I just find it a bit bizarre that Helen suddenly found that she couldn't keep her head above the water, even splashing and screaming, begging for help, unless she accidentally drifted into the deep end, then panicked when she realised she couldn't touch the floor, and then couldn't escape, she took in water. I'm unsure. Now some folks...
Because that's the thing that's weird to me is, if you know, because this thing, I can't swim, right? I can't, like, very well swim. If I probably needed to survive, I could handle it. But, like, you ain't gonna see me go into the deep ends of the goddamn, of oceans and pools and fucking lakes and shit, right? So I know what my limit is and what I can handle and what I can't. So you won't see me going somewhere that I know I won't do well in pool-wise. I ain't never go, if I can't swim to the point in a deep end, I'm not fucking touching that deep end. I'm not even going near that deep end because I ain't taking the fucking risk. I don't know why she would at all.
Have suggested that there was something else in the pool with her, but I've watched the whole lot and nothing seems to move other than a ball. So it's assumed that she just panicked and drowned. Wendy's father, Kayundi, revealed that he'd only found out about his daughter's death after one of her friends texted him about it, sending him the video in which he watched in horror. A GoFundMe was started to get her body back home to Kenya to be buried, eventually raising $50,000 US. This livestream is a brutal reminder of the dangers of water, no matter how deep. They say you can drown in a glass of water, but this one really shocked me. 1 minute it's all fun and smiles, and the next, tragedy and silence.
Now this is what I'm just letting, I've heard this story so many times. There was nothing you could tell me about this story that I don't already know. So I'm just letting it play at the moment. I'm gonna go grab my phone now.
Now this entry is one that I wanted to cover since it happened, but I couldn't quite fit it into a video until now. This seemingly innocent stream begins in Lisbon, in Northern Ireland. At approximately 4 PM on December the 18th, 2023, 32-year-old Stephen McCullough announced on his Twitter and his YouTube that he'd be hosting a special Christmas surprise livestream right here on his YouTube channel, Vote Saxon 07. He said that he was going to go live at 6 PM, just 2 hours from the announcement. Now, for a bit of background, the Vote Saxon 07 channel was a YouTube channel that I had watched for years at the time of this incident.
Hello YouTube viewers and random Doctor Who fans. Hello YouTube viewers and random Star Wars fans, and may the 4th be with you. Hello YouTube viewers and random subscribers and well-wishers and hangers-on. Hello YouTube viewers and random Doctor Who fans.
The channel's name is actually a reference to one of my favourite Doctor Who 3-parter episodes, where the Master takes over the world and becomes the Prime Minister. Starting in 2015, the Vote Saxon channel was run solely by Stephen McCullough. The channel's original focus was Doctor Who, whether that be episode reviews, merch reviews, figurine reviews, anything Doctor Who, you name it. While focusing on Doctor Who, Stephen also covered lots of other nerdy stuff, such as Star Wars. He loved his Robot Wars. The channel was a place that I'd find myself returning to every now and then when a particular controversial Doctor Who episode dropped, or when new figure reviews came out. Today, the channel sits at 38,000 subscribers with 13 million video views. So the channel covered anything Doctor Who and pop culture related. So this is why it was particularly strange when Stephen announced to his YouTube and his Twitter that he'd be going live in just 2 hours for a gaming live stream. I didn't catch the stream at the time, but his followers were thrilled at the prospect of watching him play video games live, especially seeing as he'd not streamed for over a year. So, 2 hours later, 6 PM arrived, and just as promised, Stephen went live to his viewers on YouTube. This stream, however, was far from what it seemed. Earlier that day, on December the 18th, Stephen's girlfriend at the time, 32-year-old Natalie McNally, who had been in a relationship with Stephen since August of 2022 and was actually 15 weeks pregnant, spent her time at her parents' house in Lurgan, watching football, a small nearby town 20 minutes away from Stephen's house in Lisbon. The World Cup was on and the festive atmosphere was truly palpable. After the game ended, Natalie made her way back to her house in Lurgan, Silverwood Green, arriving back at around 7 PM. The last communication between Stephen and Natalie was at 5:57 PM, with Stephen messaging her saying, "Right, I'm off to stream the night away. Wish me luck." That night, as the stream continued, showing Stephen playing his games, Natalie was murdered in cold blood. She'd been beaten black and blue and stabbed multiple times. She had defensive wounds all over her body, cuts, scratches, including blunt force trauma to the head and a compressed neck. She was found by Stephen on the evening of the 19th, who rang the police, and a murder investigation was quickly started.
Detectives from the Major Investigation Team have now launched a murder investigation following the death of Natalie McNally in Lurgan. This follows the results of the post-mortem. The 32-year-old died a violent death, having been stabbed a number of times, and there are
I'm sorry, if anyone's watching this, you can probably see him trying not to laugh. It's so messed up that I'm trying not to laugh at this dude's accent, because that's fucked up of me. That is so messed up for me, Dick, but for some reason I'm trying, I want to laugh at this guy's accent, but that's so mean. So, I'm not going to.
Signs of defensive injuries. She was murdered at her home in the Silverwood Green area of the town, and evidence now suggests that she was murdered on the night of Sunday the 18th of December.
Hold on, Sunday the what? I'm sorry, the what of the...
Was murdered on the night of Sunday the 18th of December.
The 18th? I've never heard 18th said that way before. 18th? I can't even say it. That was... I've never heard something like that, ever.
Now, of course, the police first suspected Stephen, and he was arrested. He was charged with Natalie's murder that very day. However, once he was brought into questioning, Stephen maintained his innocence, pointing only to his livestream as proof of his whereabouts during the time of the murder. The police reviewed the stream, and yep, that was Stephen gaming, at that time, at that date. They confirmed that Stephen was live, he was playing video games, seemingly cementing his alibi.
We as a community want to take the opportunity to offer our deepest condolences to Natalie's parents, her brothers, her family, and her friends.
Please, did anybody that has any information whatsoever, please bring it to the police. Thank you.
Just before we release the dream, may Natalie rest in peace.
On December the 24th, the police stated publicly that Stephen had been eliminated from the investigation and that he had been released and cleared of any further suspicion. On Boxing Day, December the 26th, a day after Natalie was due to reveal to her loved ones that she was in fact pregnant, family and friends instead gathered for her funeral near her family home. Several hundred members of the public and the local community gathered to see her coffin as they showed the family their support. On the 28th of January, a rally was held in Lurgan in a local park in memory of Natalie and her unborn child. More than 1,000 people gathered, as well as Stephen, of course, captured here.
She earned 2 degrees, had a successful career, owned her own home, lived independently, had her own networks of friends, looked after scores of cats and dogs, and alongside her loving partner, was delighted to be becoming a mother for the first time.
We are the parents of Natalie McNally, Bernadette, and myself, Noel McNally. Natalie was murdered on the 18th of December, and we are appealing to the killer of Natalie to give himself up to the police, or if someone knows who this person is, please get in contact with the police and give this person up. This person needs to be taken off the street.
I would just say, please, if anybody who suspects somebody or knows, come forward. Search your conscience that you cannot keep this a secret. This person cannot, who brutally murdered my daughter, cannot be in society. Please come forward with any information that you may have. The police need this, and we as a family need to get justice for Natalie.
The slightest wee bit of information that you know might be the breakthrough for this case to take this person off the street.
While the hunt for who was responsible continued, Stephen carried on making content for his channel, as usual, releasing a Doctor Who figure review on January the 25th.
Hello YouTube viewers and random Doctor Who fans. Yes, the time is finally upon us. After years of B&M Frankensteinian mashup figure sets, Character Options have at long last released something new, the Regeneration set from the power of the Doctor.
As a modification, I've decided to put the rubbish looking David Tennant head onto the Raggedy Doctor body, and I've created a whole new character. This is Drunk Dave, new channel mascot, completely new, original character, never seen before.
The police then questioned neighbours who lived nearby Natalie, and two separate people reported that at roughly 9 PM they'd heard a blood-curdling scream. But as police teams scoured through hours and hours of CCTV evidence for any clue, the investigation deepened when a shocking revelation came to light. A taxi driver came to the police to report that at around 8 PM on December the 18th, he picked up a man from outside a pub in Lurgan to a residential property in Lisbon. The place that the taxi driver had taken the man to was Stephen's address. At 11:13 PM, the taxi concluded its service at his home, and remarkably, within just 3 minutes, at 11:16 PM, Stephen's phone, which had actually been inactive for several hours, suddenly showed activity. Stephen later attributed this phone activity to him having fallen asleep after consuming alcohol. The police later found Natalie's murder weapon, a kitchen knife from her own home, had been used to kill her. Digital police teams then thoroughly investigated the live stream and Stephen's computer. The stream, which had initially appeared to be Stephen's perfect alibi, was in fact pre-recorded and played as a live stream. Investigators discovered that the stream was recorded on the 14th of December, 4 days before Natalie's murder. It was found that for the entirety of the 6-hour stream that Stephen pretended that he was live, he was in fact not. The entire thing was an elaborate hoax. Stephen had meticulously planned the entire thing from start to finish to establish an alibi for the time his girlfriend was murdered. This twist turned the case completely on its head. What seemed like an innocent gaming session was in fact a cold, calculated attempt to mislead authorities and the public. Stephen had planned it almost perfectly, to the exact time the stream should go live, to the exact time it would end. The stream started at 6 PM and lasted all the way up to 12 PM, giving him plenty of alibi to fall back on should he be questioned. Throughout the stream, he goes along with the entire thing, pretending that it's all live, looking at the camera, fake talking to the camera, and even fake reacting to things.
Hey, and we're live. Hello everyone. Yeah, a little bit out of the blue this, isn't it? But, hang on, my levels are just a nightmare. There we go, bring that down a little bit. And that could be a little bit better framed, but that's the fun of being live. Yes, so, hello to all on this glorious Sunday evening. Yeah, so I just thought, why not? I'm gonna do a live stream, because this day next week is Christmas. So what more could you want for Christmas other than an evening with your old pal Stephen?
So Stephen thought he was really smart, but he had an ego the size of Jupiter. He'd left obvious clues as to what he was really doing throughout the stream, hidden in plain sight. The stream in question, which is actually still live on his channel, was called The Violent Night. Need I say more? It begins with Stephen loading up Grand Theft Auto Vice City on his original Xbox, and as the stream started, Stephen announced that he couldn't actually interact with the audience. A big red flag.
So yeah, I think I've got it set up. Now the trouble is, because this is quite an old computer, it's getting on a little bit, I'm going to have to save up and get myself a new one in the new year, but for now, this one's kind of hanging along, you know, like smoke is billowing out of it. It looks like it's running on red diesel and hatred at this point. Trouble is, it's in a very limited capacity. Well, because this streaming software is kind of up the left, it means I can't check the live chat, which is a real shame. So, by all means, talk amongst yourselves.
Stephen blamed it on several problems with his streaming setup and said that it would crash the system if he tried to reply. He told them to talk amongst themselves as he continued playing games.
Literally going to be drinking and driving. In the game, by the way, I'm not leaving the house tonight, so...
Other than the fact that Stephen couldn't interact with viewers, the stream plays very much like any other gaming stream.
There it is. We got there in the end, mate. We got there in the end.
Some parts of it are, frankly, boring, with lots of silence, just Stephen driving cars. But when things do go wrong, Stephen reacts with ear-piercing rage.
What? 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 Oh! I don't remember this mission being this difficult. Oh! No! 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 How does this keep happening? Away. I will kill you all with fire!
Viewers were typing in chat, trying to speak to him. They were none the wiser, fully believing they were part of a live event. But it's not the rage that's the worst bit. It's the things that Stephen was saying and the things that he was doing that will make your stomach turn. Here are all the examples I could find.
You don't know me. You don't know what I've suffered.
While smirking at the camera, Stephen commented about the lack of police in Ireland. He then says, in a mock London accent, that's why he likes committing crimes in video games.
Like, I was reading somewhere recently, like, the amount of police force that we have lost over the last 12 years is just fucking frightening, and no wonder crime is on the rise. That's why I like sticking to just doing crimes in a video game. Keeps things simple, mate. No one's coming to save you. Trying to get back into my gaming again, but that's not going to be a fucking thing come next year, because my efforts shall be involved elsewhere in my life. So, just making the most of my free time now while I've still got it.
Another hint occurs at around 3 hours into the video, at roughly 9 PM, exactly when neighbours say they heard a scream coming from Natalie's house. At this exact point in the night, Stephen chose to undertake a very specific side mission on Vice City. This mission's task would be to kill a woman and make it look like an accident. While conducting this side quest, on stream, Stephen could be heard saying, "I need to kill this bitch. I need to take her down."
I need to kill this bitch. I need to take her down.
While playing, Stephen's car's bouncing all over the shop, and he says,
yeah, that's physics. That's what would happen in the real world. Abso-fucking-notly. Abso-fucking-notly.
a sickening and obvious nod towards his girlfriend. Remember, this was all recorded 4 days prior, so he would have had to really think and plan to marry up the exact time that he did this side quest to the time he committed the alleged murder. If you really think about it, it's bloody horrifying.
I'd say. Back into work on Wednesday. then off until New Year's. So it'll be enough time to rest, relax, spend time with my loved ones. Actually, it'll be a really fucking good Christmas this year. But yes, sorry, I'm getting horribly distracted. Yeah, so I think break. I think a little break. Just try and collect myself again and stop the eyes from stinging right the fuck out of my head.
One of the more haunting hints occurs during a break at around 9:15 PM. Rather than a screen saying livestream back soon, as he did in all the previous breaks, instead, the screen is replaced momentarily with a promotional photo of the James Bond film No Time to Die. This would have been around the time that Stephen was allegedly murdering Natalie and his unborn child.
I'll tell you something. I made a real pig's ear of that. I just sat down and I pulled the controller and the headphones off the table, which hit the keypad, which it's apparently hotkeys are still connected, so it went on to something else for a little second. Yeah, anyway.
The stream continues, he plays a lot of Grand Theft Auto, before moving on to a low-quality Robot Wars game. At the end of the stream, Stephen brings it all together with the so-called live viewers, reminding them of the importance of Christmas and the importance of being near loved ones.
Anyway, I think I'll wrap up this stream with none of you watching at all. Just by saying, Merry Christmas, everyone. It's a time that we look forward to and we get excited about whenever we're young. And then as we get older, we get much more cynical and stuff like that. And then we reach a stage where we realize it's not about us anymore. It's about the younger generation, and it's about keeping that love alive and passing it on. And I think that's something I'm looking forward to doing more than anything else, really. But yes, for all of us, be we young.
He is one evil bastard, ain't he? Like, he is one evil bastard to do this. Bro. 6-hour live stream just to cover up a murder is insane.
Be we old. I think the important thing to take away from it is to use it as a time, not for what we receive, but what we can give. In terms of presents, in terms of love, in terms of sex. It's just been one of those nights, hasn't it? But yes, I think the message rings true that Christmas, it's not about the shopping, it's not about the lights and the tinsel and all that crap. It's literally just about having some time off to enjoy spending time with the people that you love. So hopefully I've done that tonight and given you a couple of hours of madness of me freaking out. So until next time, everyone, thank you for watching. Good night.
Shortly after the livestream was discovered to be fake, damning CCTV evidence was found, and on January the 31st, Stephen was rearrested for Natalie's murder. The CCTV footage in question captured a figure at 7:09 PM on December the 18th. The footage shows a tall man navigating his way towards a bus stop located at Kingsway in Dunmurry, a notable distance of 2 miles from Stephen's home in Lisbon. The individual, shrouded in a large hood and scarf that was concealing his face, embarked on a journey to Lurgan, where Natalie lived, aboard the bus. As he attempted to pay the fare with cash, a mishap occurred. The coins tumbled to the floor, and the man bent down in an effort to try and retrieve them. Because he was wearing gloves, he couldn't pick them up. So he removed one of the black gloves, and underneath you can see a pair of yellow latex gloves. This man was wearing 2 pairs of gloves, showing that he was forensically aware. The man's physical stature and the manner of walking bore a striking resemblance to Stephen, and Stephen was clearly trying to conceal his fingerprints. Further CCTV footage tracked this man from the bus, entering Silverwood Green, where Natalie lived, at 8:52 PM. This same person can then be seen departing the scene around 40 minutes later at 9:31 p.m. with a dark backpack, dressed in a different set of clothes. CCTV then captures the man hailing a taxi outside a pub that was initially waiting for another person. He got in the car and claimed that his mother was ill and that he needed to go to another destination. This man directed the taxi towards Lisbon and towards Stephen's address. This taxi driver later positively identified Stephen as his passenger in a Viper police lineup. This accumulation of evidence led to Stephen being formally charged with murder in the early hours of February the 2nd. One of the prosecuting lawyers described how every moment of this entire thing had been carefully thought through, and it's only due to painstaking police work and sophisticated cyber evidence that he hasn't got away with it. To make this crime even worse, between the times of being arrested and then released and then rearrested, Stephen visited Natalie's family to find out if they were onto him. He went over to see how they were doing and set up his phone to record. Well,
Oh my god, the desperation for this guy to find out if he was getting even suspicious. Jesus.
Stephen forgot about his phone on record and had to come back later in the evening to retrieve it. Natalie's parents even allowed Stephen to spend 20 minutes alone with her body on Christmas night, believing him to be the grieving partner and not the person who had killed their daughter. So, why did he allegedly do this, you're wondering? Some people believe that Stephen didn't want the baby and that he wanted out, while others believe that he did this to stop Natalie leaving him, as police did discover sexualized messages to an ex on Natalie's phone, giving a supposed catalyst for her killing. Upon forensic review, it was also found that Stephen unlocked Natalie's phone 9 times on the night before her death. It's assumed that he was checking who she was talking to, but didn't send any messages. Stephen's been in prison since his arrest. He did later admit to pre-recording the livestream, but did not admit to murder. When Stephen appeared at Belfast Crown Court on Friday the 12th of January 2024, the pre-recorded livestream became the key piece of evidence that unravelled his alibi. When the judge asked how he pleaded to the murder charge, he replied, "Not guilty." In court, his defence lawyer argued that the video was pre-recorded as a failsafe to get more viewers attracted to live content. But this doesn't really add up because, number one, he's not streamed in over a year, and number two, why would you live stream and pretend to be live? And it doesn't make any sense. His lawyer added that there were no hints or reference within the live stream, and that these comments were a tragic coincidence. The judge scheduled his trial.
My man, look, you know what that is? You know what that is? That's a lawyer that has no way to get you out. Like, he's coming up with things. He knows you're fucked. He just can't tell you you're fucked. So he's just coming up with stuff.
For September of 2024, Stephen was then handcuffed and led from the dock by the prison staff. And as he did so, he kept his face to the ground, refusing to even acknowledge Natalie's family or friends as he walked past them into custody. But that is the end of this video.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this reaction video. Let me know what you think in the comments.